J-Man. I am Jason, defender of geekdom. My true calling in life was revealed to me the day I had discovered YouTube. I have the power! I became J-Man, the most powerful geek in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret. My friends Steven, Owen, and Sean. Together, we defend geekdom from the evil forces of social media. J-Man. Hey everybody, J-Man here, and we're going to be talking about some women of wrestling today. So we got a lot of topics. Not a lot of stuff happened this week, but we're going to go through it. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see, what everyone thinks. I don't think there's anything super major that I can. I'm just looking at my notes. Nothing too crazy. I'll do a couple of show notes first as well. Sean and I are going to be back in the Phantom Zone this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about comics. I believe we're on September releases. So for 1990 September, that'll be interesting. We're going to go through all the issues that came out. And tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be on the Action Elite. That's Owen's channel. He's one of the guys that knows the secret. I'm going to be on Owen's channel, and we're going to be talking about Eraser, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You have been erased. Now, everyone always says that line, but Schwarzenegger doesn't actually say that line. I think it's this other guy who says you've been erased. So we're going to be talking about Eraser tomorrow night, and the link to Owen's channel, Action Elite, is in the description of this video, plus all other videos that I post on the channel. So without further delay, let us bring in my partner in crime for this segment. Hello, Steve.
Hey, J-Man.
All right, so are we ready to talk about the heel turn? Yeah. Which I guess is is that the biggest story of the week, I guess?
Probably.
Not counting like Vince McMahon's improprieties or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's something we knew about. It's just, I guess, further down the path. Like we knew like there was 4 of them now, and he paid them out like $12 million or something. I don't know.
Show me the money.
Well, the problem really isn't that he did what he did or that he paid them out. That it's where he took it from to pay them out. He took it out of company funds, which makes it fraud if he did that.
Oh, you know what, man? There's a great clip from Fubar where he says, "It's not so much the things that we did; it's that we did them." I gotta remember where that is in the movie. I gotta clip that part. Awesome. But that is. There's not so much the things that we did; it's just that we did them. Like, all right.
Message.
All right. Well, okay. So let's go through. So we're gonna talk about SmackDown from July 8th. So that was this Thursday's, and then we're gonna talk about last night's Raw, which is July 11th. We're getting closer and closer to our Raw trip, so that's gonna be really neat. And there's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna take a lot of pictures. I'm gonna try to take video, like when Becky comes out. I'm gonna try to get some good video if I can.
Yeah.
So
hopefully there won't be some dude in your way with a huge sign.
Well, I believe that we're in the aisle. So like I'm seat 1 and 2, like we're seat 1 and 2, so we're right at the edge. So I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna stand up and go to the side, and like I'll see. I don't know how close you can go. I'm going as close as I can. Like we never do this, so
Yeah.
we're gonna try to get the most out of it, and at least we'll have like Becky will be there for sure, and Bianca Belair is gonna be there for sure. That's what that Scott Stanford or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
That's what he says on his promos. So that's
And
good.
Asuka, right?
Huh? And Asuka, I
Asuka.
think. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. Like I'm good with
Yeah.
that. And I think and maybe Alexa Bliss too.
She's been showing up every week, so I'm assuming she would be.
So I mean if that's the case and we don't get Liv, then I'll just live with it. All right, so we're starting off with a Liv interview. So they start talking about, 10 years ago you were this waitress or something. And, she went through, she learned and she dreamed about this and, all that stuff. Now, this is stuff that everyone always says, but it does feel a bit more real coming from her. I feel like she really is pumped up for this. And if you follow her on Instagram and Twitter and all that, she's like posting all the time pictures of her doing different things with the belt and all that. So, that's cool that she's like really actually excited. It seems like she's really excited, not just, I'm excited because that's my character. Ronda's gonna wants the rematch. Natalya comes out, shut your mouth and all that. So the next thing is SummerSlam. So is Liv fighting Ronda SummerSlam? Like I don't know if that would confirm then.
Yeah, I saw some sort of advertising for it that it would be Ronda versus Liv at SummerSlam.
So if Ronda just wins it back, that's almost like what was the point of that?
Well, that would big time be what's the point of that? Because like you're doing this whole thing about that she was a waitress and blah, blah, blah. And I don't think her story is, to your point, that unusual from like, if you read any wrestler thing, it's like, it's sleeping on floors and I was going to train on weekends in this dingy gym with like they had the mats were all threadbare and stuff and like their first match was in a hall where there were like 30 people there or something like it's not that it's irrelevant but it's been heard, right? We assume that these performers have had to suffer for their craft, if you will.
Right.
But I mean, it is a nice story. Like to your point, it's a very believable story. It does seem like just because it seems like it was harder for Liv for some strange reason, maybe because she is shorter, she isn't as she isn't as big. And she's a bit of a weirdo, which she admits. She I don't know if you saw this, but she used to have like, I think she had a colored tongue at one point. Like, I think she had like a blue tongue or something. She would stick out. Like she had, when she came back, she had this weird lesbian storyline with Lana, which died very quickly. I think she's been through the bumps and bruises, and I think she's very grateful where she is now.
Right.
Natalya coming out, sure. Like they obviously want to, because Natalya is actually reliable and she shows up, they want to keep showcasing her. Ronda coming out, and it's just I would have wished that Ronda didn't challenge her right away, because I don't see how Liv wins unless, as we've discussed in private, Charlotte does a run in at SummerSlam.
That really needs to happen to keep Liv there, because I mean, what is the point if what we believe is true? And it was, Ronda was kind of saying, well, I wanted, to give it to someone who, worked hard, and, I didn't say I wanted to be a champion. I wanted someone else to have it. If that's true, then giving it to Liv was a good move. And to just remove that right away, you're just like, well, why did you even bother doing it? And then Ronda wins it back. Like, what was the point? Like, Ronda lost it for 2 minutes. That would make Money in the Bank useless, right? It's like that, and just make Liv garbage. So this has to happen. They need to have a good match. Charlotte needs to come in and beat the crap out of Ronda, and then Liv retains it through DQ or something. Disqualification, not Dairy Queen. And
but we could all use some Dairy Queen.
I do love Dairy Queen. I like Sweet Jesus. That's like the new one I go to now. Screw you, DQ. No, you're done. You're finished. You're fired. You're fired. Yeah. So like, what is the point? That it would just be so stupid. It's just like, why even bother doing this?
It'd be horrible.
So I don't know. That has to happen. Who's Bianca facing?
Oh, it looks like Becky.
Yeah.
It appears to be Becky, though I'm not entirely convinced that Ronda and Liv is a straight match. I think it's a 3-way with Natalya, to be honest with you.
Right.
I think it will become a 3-way. Like, I don't think Ronda versus Liv, you realistically book Liv to win unless there's either shenanigans or there's a third competitor who she gets wrapped up with Ronda, a big move happens, and then Liv retains through, just being an opportunist. Like, right. Again, this is sort of the problem with a Liv Morgan and why it's so special she's a champion is she's perpetually the underdog. Right. And against Ronda Rousey or Charlotte Flair, she's got to be the underdog. If she wins, it has to be a result as either through intelligence, opportunity, or shenanigans. It's the only 3 ways.
Yep. Yeah. So there's going to have to be something. So I mean, if they do the 3-way and just have them, then they can do anything they want, and it's like it'll all be okay. It'll make sense, or they'll make it make sense or something, and then Ronda can continue. Like, what's the point of Ronda saying, "Oh, I don't care about having the belt"? It's like, okay, we took it from you. Well, actually, now I want it back. It's like, okay, well then I don't get it.
Yeah, or Vince McMahon's like, I don't want her not to have the belt.
Right.
Which, Roman Reigns retaining the belt for as long as he has become now. It seems the only one who can challenge him is Brock Lesnar, which is kind of like, haven't they had 68 matches yet?
I know. Brock Lesnar and what's his face have literally fought 400 times.
Yeah.
It's like, is there no one on this planet to even challenge me? From Superman.
Yeah.
Superman 2, like Zod's just like, what is this? Like,
yeah.
Come on, help me out here. Or adjust myself. Yeah, like, so they've got to do something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ronda. Yeah, it felt like Ronda. All of a sudden, it was like Ronda versus Natalya, and that just seemed like it was just weird. Like Ronda looked like she wasn't dressed to fight.
Nope.
And then that just became a match. Yeah,
I think it was more so to. I don't know why. I don't know the legitimacy of this. It seems like a kayfabe knee injury, but she's still, going off that, she's injured and whatnot. I don't know what the point of this was other than, hey, remind everyone that Ronda Rousey can kick people's asses. Like, it was just a weird thing. It's not the most weird match we saw this week, but it's one of them. I didn't get it at all. Sure, Ronda won. Okay.
Right, and she made her tap.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, why?
Yeah. It literally made no sense.
That was like nonsense. Like I don't get what was the point of that.
I literally, it was like, that was a match I expected to see on Money in the Bank. But like, if anyone's sitting there saying, oh, Ronda's depowered now because of the knee, no one's thinking that.
Right.
Everyone knows that the knee thing will be healed by the time SummerSlam rolls around.
Yep.
So,
yeah, so why did you even have that? Like, I don't know.
Zero idea. It was a nothing match.
Yeah, like SmackDown was weird. And then again, another. Okay, so this is the big thing. This is the heel turn with Lacey. So Aaliyah was supposed to team up with Lacey to fight Shayna and Shotzi. And I don't know why Shayna and Shotzi are now a team. But or Aaliyah and Lacey, it's just like they're putting just random people. You and you, yeah, are fighting you and you. It's like I already have a match. Like, okay, not you. You. It's like I also have a match. Who doesn't have a match? Put up your hand. Okay. You. Okay, it's you. It's like okay, like.
And that's a janitor.
And that's the janitor. Who's gonna clean the damn toilets? So, and then Lacey comes out. I like Lacey a lot now. She came out to her song. I like her song too. She comes out and she's like, no, that wasn't good enough. And then they were cheering a little bit, weren't they? It was weird. It's like the cheers went up a little bit.
Oh, it did.
And then she came back out and the cheers went up again. I'm like, so they like her now? I'm like, wait, what's going on? I thought she was just playing on the fact that she wasn't getting cheers. So then, that would be, and then she went on the whole rant, Texas sucks. And it's like, okay, I guess this is it. This is the heel turn.
Well, this was very poor for a number of reasons. First one is this happened way too late because she wasn't getting any reaction pretty much from the get-go.
Right.
This should have been noticed way before now.
Right.
She can't, like, her music hit. It was literally like 10,000 people were heading to the can or something. Like, she got no reaction. And then she came out and people were kind of like, oh, we have to cheer her. Yay, Lacey. But do you not realize that this is starting to be like, she's like, this is what the heel turn is? Like, she's like, you don't care about me. And then the third time it happened, I'm like, hey, Joe. So I'm just like, okay. And then she came in and she said some stuff, which I'm like, this should have been day one. This should have been planned.
Right.
Like now it just looks like we tried to make her an All-American face. We failed miserably. So because people don't want that from her or for whatever reason.
Right.
However, it didn't work. So now in some random match we threw together on SmackDown where arguably neither Shayna Baszler nor Shotzi were actually in the building. Because
they probably weren't even I want to see where they were. I don't think they were there.
And then Aaliyah got mad because Lacey was yelling at the fans. Like, I was okay. And then she went up and she's like, what the hell? And Lacey knocked her down, like hit her and knocked her out. And I'm like, I was completely confused by the entire string of events. Like
right.
Lacey finally noticed she was getting no reaction after like 3 months or whatever it was. She's like, hey, it's been 3 months. No one's cheering me. And then the fans got duped and like, oh, we should cheer Lacey. Yay. No, this is a heel turn. This is like, why are you now cheering? Like, this is a heel turn. This is the whole point.
So my wife basically reads manga while I'm watching this. And this is what she just reads manga while, So I'm like, so Lacey came out and then she came back out and they cheered her again. I'm like, oh, here we go. She's turning heel right now. And my wife doesn't know it. I was like, she's going to become a bad guy and say something stupid or whatever, right? And then I'm like, oh, God, this is so bad. And then she comes out and she's like, you guys all suck. I'm like, yep, this is bad. And I'm literally complaining the entire time. And my wife's probably thinking, I literally don't care about what's going on. Like, who cares? It's like, stop watching these women. It's like, okay. I'm like, this is brutal. So literally it's just like, it's just such a poor way to handle this.
Yeah.
Read the room, guys.
Yeah.
After the first couple of, I'm Lacey Evans. They're not better than me. I'm not better than them. Or, at this, like when look at Twitter, look at Instagram, people are like, they're not pumped for this.
Yeah.
Turn her heel right there. I would have had the second promo or even third. Let's say they're 2 weeks behind on reading the room. That's like, start saying like Lacey just as we talked about last time, just put little things in.
Yeah.
Just little bits. You're like, is she bad? And we're just, she's like, all those girls in the back locker room, they're no better than me, but I sure as hell am better than than them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that was kind of arrogant. Just little things. And it's like she could be like, and I went through all this, and I went to the military, and I fought for this country, I fought for you.
Yeah.
And like, look at Alexa Bliss. What has she ever done? What has Liv Morgan ever done? They've done nothing. They've come out here with, swing their little ponytails around and get cheers. It's like I fought for this country. It's like, and all those girls, they ain't better than me, but I sure as am better than that. Just play to it more and more. I think actually people would have been excited for that, because I would have been like, yeah, you are better than them. You did.
Yeah. It's such a natural way to go. Yeah, you did call it, Joe. You did call it. I was actually thought that afterwards. I'm like, Joe called it.
Yeah, and you could, and that's on whatever. I don't remember what stream it was on, but it's on whatever stream.
Yeah.
You can go back and find and take a screenshot. Say Joe.
Probably late June. It was probably late June because he called it.
Right. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Exact. WWE. Look, now Lacey's one of my favorites because I feel bad for her now.
Yeah.
They did her dirty with this angle.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, read the room. I don't get it. We all said right from the beginning, we're like, is she going to be a heel? Wait, what is this?
Yeah.
And then it was like segment 3 and segment 4 and segment 5. I'm like, no, they're going full on with this. I'm an American. I'm fighting for the country. I'm like, okay, I guess they're going for it. And then people just aren't pumped up for it. The other thing too is that it is what it is. I don't know. The people, I don't know. I don't know the politics of what's going on, but I don't know who's watching wrestling, if like who these people are. But I am reading some of the comments, and people are just really stupid. I don't know if some people are literally just like, they don't understand that this is a storyline, because I'm seeing the comments to her thing, and I'm like, are you guys smart and playing into her character? Or are you just dumb and don't realize that this is just a character and this is not a real person? Like, whatever her real name is, she is a person who like really did do all this stuff. So it's like, what's your problem? Anyway, but yeah, they should have just made her a heel from the beginning, and then you wouldn't have had any of this problem.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this runs a bit into the whole Ronda Rousey turning heel thing, where it's like Lacey Evans basically revealed her actual person, like her actual struggles, and becoming this, and mother, daughter, sister, blah blah blah. And it's like, for the fans to not cheer her is difficult. Let me just put it to you that way.
Yeah, and we're let's continue that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So now this is going back to when I wasn't watching.
Yep.
So yeah, so the Forgotten Sons tag team 2 years ago, they were supposed to be fellow American. I don't think the Americans care, or at least the people watching wrestling. I would have thought Texas would care.
Of any of the states, yes. I assume that
I
Texas
don't know why I thought that. That's just a stereotype that's perhaps in my head of what I think
in Canadian said, yeah.
But I mean, I don't like this. I actually don't like making fun of the military. I don't care what country you're in. Like, I don't make, like, I don't know. I don't like making fun of the police. I don't like making fun of the military. I don't like making fun of, like even like the doctors and stuff. Or firefighters, and it's like, these jobs are shitty jobs. Someone's got to do it. We're lucky we have people that do it, and it's time to put your friggin' big boy pants on, and and just have some respect. First, you should have respect for people in general, anyways. But like, really, like, I mean, you could boo her as part of the storyline, right? But the problem is now, it's like what you were saying. She came out as, look, this is the real me I'm giving you, and then you booed me. That sucks. And WWE did her dirty by even allowing that. They should have said, you know what, Lacey, last time you were around, you were this thing with Ric Flair. It was really weird. It's like, we're not sure if this is going to be the right time to even do this. Why don't we just stick to you being a heel and continue it on that way?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, on a side note, I didn't understand the whole Leah thing either. First of all, I don't know why Leah had springs in her boots because she was always jumping up and down. Like, I was like, is she a rabbit? And then, like, I'm like, okay, so Lacey yelled at the fans, you are a face, but even you have to admit she had a point. And instead, it's almost like she's like, oh, Lacey, what are you doing? And then Lucy decked her. And I'm like, I'm on Lacey's side with this one. Like, why are you getting involved? Like, oh, we're supposed to be a tag team. Sure, you're a tag team as of this very moment. You've never tagged. This isn't your friend. We haven't seen you together. Like, what's she didn't say Aaliyah sucks. What are you doing? Like, this whole thing was weird to me. I just watched it. The only thing that rang true was Lacey Evans, A, noticing she wasn't getting the reaction she should be getting, and B, letting people have it because of that. That's the only thing about the entire thing that rang true. Everything else was weird.
And why didn't they just have the match? Why didn't they do all of a sudden it's a handicap match?
Yeah.
Or Aaliyah's out there and she's getting beat up and bringing someone new who comes in and helps her out, right? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, who's this? It's like, oh, she's coming out to help Aaliyah. Maybe they start something. Like, Jesus Christ, who are these people? Like, what is happening over there?
Yes, that's her. You're right, Joe. That's her gimmick. She's like, she's constantly on uppers. I don't know. Like, she's very happy and yay! I'm out here teaming with Lacey Evans, who I've never teamed with before. Oh, she hates the fans. Oh, Lacey, don't be like that.
Don't be like that. Walk it off, Lacey. Come on.
Come on, Lacey. Just because you bared your soul to everyone and they're booing you now, who cares?
Yeah, my father abused me. My mom's a piece of trash. I overcame all that, went to the military. Now I'm the mother of X number of children or whatever it is. And I love this country and I want to fight for it. Boo!
This is the Kurt Angle 3 eyes, intensity, intelligence, and integrity. I remember you and I having conversations back then where you're like, look, Kurt Angle came out. He's an Olympic gold medalist. And he's like, you have to win. You know, he lives by the 3 eyes, integrity, intensity, and intelligence. And they're like, boo. And you were like, what did he say?
Yeah, what was bad about that? Like, that sounded good to me. You know, it's like, yeah, integrity. Yep, that integrity is good. Intelligence. Yep, that's, you know, it's an important D&D stat. It's like, like, boo. Wait, what happened? You know, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Boo. I'm like, oh, the Olympics suck. I didn't know that. Okay, I guess the Olympics suck. It's like, I serve this country. Boo. It's like, oh, you don't want a military? Okay, so anyone can attack you? Okay. I don't get it. It's so weird to me. It's just like, I don't think this really happens in Canada. Like, I remember thinking the Mounties are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, they look pretty good. They don't wear the red suits anymore, but they should. They look awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's like friggin', I'm like, these guys look cool. It's like, you know, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, of course. When a cop pulls you over for speeding, you're like, screw you.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I'm talking, it's like the military. Like, people are like fighting and stuff. It's like, yeah, we're here to protect you. Boo. It's like, oh, okay, that's not the right attitude, is it? I don't know. It's just the state of mind a lot of people are in.
Yeah.
They don't like authority. They don't want the cops, you know, the defunding and all this, whatever. It's just, people are just not into that angle right now. I'm not sure why WWE even bothered with this.
It was a bad decision. It went on too long. And it was too much like, oh, I kept waiting for the punchline and I'm like, oh, there is no punchline. This is literally it. And I'm like, oh, this is going to not work. When she didn't come out when she came out and she got very little reaction, I was not surprised.
Yeah. Well, I like Lacey Evans now, so thank you. I really like her a lot. I like this. I like this military look. I really like the pink that she had in.
Yes,
that was
like
cool.
that
But I like
too.
the white too. I
Yeah.
like this military look for her. I think it looks good. It looks better than that Southern Belle thing, which was just weird.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, but I saw some of it. I'm like, I like this military angle better.
It's not like from the Southern Belle thing I would expect from like the 1800s or something, like, that's like Gone with the Wind shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's from the 1800s. Awesome.
Yeah, like who is that? Yeah, they should have Sergeant Slaughter come out and manage her.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be the best because Sergeant Slaughter is the best. That'd
Yep.
be so awesome. And that's an order.
I think he's the only wrestler who actually made it into G.I. Joe.
He's still in G.I. Joe, and he's in Action Force now too. They
nice.
got his likeness for Action Force, yeah, for the relaunch of that figure series. So yeah, pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's like now Lacey Evans is going to be this, this military badass, I suppose.
She'll probably get a lot of cheers now. That's the crazy thing. Now that she's a heel, people will probably cheer her.
Right. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you haven't seen The Boys, but there's a part where like Homelander fries someone and people start cheering. I'm like, okay, that's weird. All right, Raw, July 11th. So this is last night's Raw, yeah. And like, I mean, I couldn't find a better picture, but like. That's awesome, man. Literally, Becky Lynch is all I care about in life. She just needs to be in everything. She needs to be in The Boys. She needs to be. They need to put her in Superman and Lois. Like they need to put her in everything.
She needs to be at the grocery store selling me my cereal.
Yeah, she needs to just be everywhere. It's like I have it on my phone. I'm like, it's like I don't have it as my wallpaper, but I did. But I changed it to Qui-Gon Jinn because I was reading Star Wars books. Man, so her outfits, like they need to make a figure per outfit.
Oh my god!
Like I would actually start buying them and just have like a Becky Lynch like all the outfits. I liked her hair on this one. I just like her makeup looked pretty good. She's just the best. Like this is so funny to me. It's like, and like she's standing. Okay, they cut from commercial break.
Okay,
and they come back.
Before you start, can I just say, when did they get the second table? Because Brock Lesnar when Otis threw the first one, I'm like, they got a standby in case someone goes through it.
And they come back from commercial break and she's standing on the announcer. And she's got the Ace Frehley like moon boots or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Ace boots. I'm like, the big platforms. I know it's the platforms, but to me they're Ace Frehley boots because like that's why he wore, like Spaceman from Kiss. That's what he wore all the time. And I'm just like, she's got like the Spaceman boots or whatever. I'm like, this is outrageous. and I'm like, and it's like, I don't even know what happened. I'm just like, okay, she's just gonna stand there and she's like standing on a table and she's just like demanding matching stuff. Like
there was no context. She just came out and she ends up standing on the table and she's yelling she had to jump through hoops and she wants a title shot. And I'm like, this is the most ridiculous way I've ever seen someone want a title shot before.
Well, she was robbed. It was criminal. It was terrible. Like, I'm really upset over this. Like, they need to call the police. It's like, do you remember when? Oh, what was it? When the belt, when $1 Million Man's belt was stolen?
Yeah.
And he's like, and what do you do when someone steals from you? You call the police. And then it was like Big Boss Man came in. I'm like, that's right. You should have called. Imagine they need to do a thing where Becky goes to the police station and files a report. I've been robbed of the belt of my opportunity.
I had to jump through all these hoops.
They should introduce a wrestler like this. They should introduce a wrestler, comes in, and the wrestler's like, I'm gonna take a report. It's like, yes, you were. This was a travesty and all that. And then it's like that. Then that becomes a new wrestler. And then Becky has like a police wrestler that comes out. I know. No, I'm dead serious. Becky Lynch is like my entire life. I'm reading like Star Wars all like, oh, this would be so good if Becky Lynch showed up and beat up these Jedi. I would write the Becky Lynch comic book. If they need a comic book, let me know. I'll write one. Roddy Piper had a comic where he was fighting monsters and stuff. Freaking Ken Kelly did the covers. It was awesome. You should see. I'm gonna find that. Maybe if we have a minute or two after we talk, I'm gonna find those. They're awesome.
Right.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar and all that. It's like forget Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar F5ing a 330-pound man. Like the thing about Brock Lesnar's display, just off topic for a second, but the thing about his display I appreciated was it's that Stone Cold Steve Austin thing where it's like, I'm just going to hit you as hard as I can with as many things as possible, and just like, he knocks down Chad. Now Chad Gable was called Shorty G because he's like 5'10" or something. Like he's shorter for a wrestler. I don't know if he's 5'10", 5'9", 5. I don't know. 5'7". Otis is a big boy. Like they've made a big thing about him.
Right.
So he beats him both, and then he like grabs stairs and beats him with that, and then he grabs a chair, and I'm like, what's next? Is he going to take off his shoe and start beating him with that? And then he just F5s, and he didn't even do the thing where they all clear the computer screen. He didn't do that. He just F5'd the man through a table.
Yeah, they got to clear the screens, eh? That hurts if you get nailed on that.
And he didn't care. He just he literally I think Chad Gable literally flipped on his face like 500 times. Thing. He just got beaten. Like that guy shouldn't show his face around the thing for a month. Yeah. I mean, it was absolute what we saw last week with Becky Lynch and Asuka laying that wasn't happening here. This was a grown man beating the living hell out of two other grown men. It was not even. That wasn't even if you got the angle in there, he still was beating the hell out of the guy. So I don't know. I thought it was terrific. It was absolutely hilarious. Just destroying those two guys. They just came out of the woodwork and he instantly just beat the hell out of them. I'm like, and then Becky, God bless Becky. She just comes out and she makes everything relevant.
And it's like okay, so what was the actual point of that? Okay, so the actual point was there was Bianca versus Carmella, and she was there.
This to me was a better match than Money in the Bank.
Yep. I super thought that too. I'm like, why is this better than the pay-per-view? Carmella is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to figure something a little bit better maybe for her, or maybe do something with her. She's Carmella's actually pretty good, but I can't get into her. The Melez Money. I don't know. I guess they need to have they feel like they need to have one of these pretty boy. I was a pretty boy, but whatever. Pretty girl. I'm pretty and you guys are all nothing. I guess, and they just gave that to her. But
what first of all, there's one big problem with Carmella, and it's actually nothing to do with what she does in the ring or her look or anything, and I'll get to that in a second. But when she was reversing Bianca and all that, what you had there was, hey, I learned from the match, it was telling a story again. I learned from the previous match. I know her moves. When she reversed the KOD, that was awesome. And I'm like, this is what you do with her. She comes in and she, like, again, we said this before. Bianca says she's the fastest, the roughest, the toughest, blah, blah. Someone needs to say, I'm the smartest.
Right.
And, maybe it's Bailey, who still is MIA. I don't know if she's still rehabbing. But if you're not going to use her, use Carmella and say, she's the smartest one. She'll watch the film. She'll pay attention. And she'll do the reversals and that. Like, she really did awesome. The problem, too, with Carmella is, quite frankly, Corey Graves. Because it always goes, like, Corey Graves is annoying as hell anyway. And it always goes into, he's her husband. He's going to protect her. Shut up, Saxon. All that shit. And I'm like, someone needs to come in and sit at that commentary like a wrestler who's a face. And when Graves, like, oh, shut up, blah, blah, like, you want me to wipe the mat with your ass? Because I will. Why don't you shut up, Graves? Like, you need that person to put him in his place, because those face announcers, Saxon and Jimmy Smith or whoever, they're terrible. They're so vanilla. It's garbage.
Yeah, the announcing for me has gone way, like, I mean, and because I started from WrestleMania 2 and on. I never missed a pay-per-view, a main event, a televised thing, anything. I never missed anything up until at least WrestleMania 20, and then we kind of were in and out. And I've watched all the WrestleManias or whatever, right? So I don't know exactly when I stopped for good, and then I came back. But like, the announcers are just like, man, it's like Jim Ross, Jerry the King, and then, the further you go back, Gorilla and Jesse and Brain and all that. I'm like, these guys, like, you could almost tune, like, the jobber matches were almost fun because of the commentators. Like, it's like, it was just awesome. And now I don't think the commentating is nowhere near, like, anywhere as good.
Joe said this a while ago, and I agree with him. The best announcer right now is Pat McAfee, because he has a personality.
Yeah.
And he's very energetic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
All that. Yep. I agree with all that. Carmella, just have her come out and be like, I'm the elite. I'm better looking. I'm a better wrestler. Like, you might be rough and tough and fast, but I'm a better wrestler. I'm smarter than you.
Why doesn't she say, I'm the sexiest, I'm the smartest, I'm the hottest or whatever? Like, she should do something or whatever, something like that, right? Like,
and I'm the best, because best is EST.
And I'm the best. Yeah. It's like, but she did say she's like, you're the worst. No, what did she say? You're the worst. No, she said a bunch of things.
Yeah, she said a bunch of things.
She said, oh, you're like the dumbest. You're the whatever, the laziest. I think.
Yeah, the laziest. I remember her saying. Like,
so that was pretty funny.
She worked well. It's just that, like, we're hearing, like, Corey Graves just be annoying on thing, and it just kills the mood.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, they'd have to have him not be there for her matches or something, or
make him her manager. Make him come off the announcing table and stand in her corner.
He's they're really married in real life, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're not. Yeah. Like, I mean, he's going to be there. Yeah. The counter to the KOD was awesome. I said Carmella had a really good match this one. Overall, this was better than Money in the Bank.
Oh, big time.
Becky interfered and Carmella won.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. This entire thing was booked properly, which is weird.
Like, SmackDown was bullshit.
Yeah,
Raw this week, which is hopeful for us because we're going to be going to Raw. Raw was like way better. Like,
well, that match was better. I have things to say about the other match.
Okay, so then the next thing was Alexa Bliss and Asuka versus Doudrop and Nikki, and Bliss just pinned Nikki, and you're like, okay, like, what was the point of all this?
So, why are Alexa and Asuka now tag team?
That's so random.
B, why is Nikki ASH still doing the superhero bit? It's over.
Yeah.
Get rid of it. C, where's the storyline between why Alexa and Asuka are teaming up to take on Doudrop and Nikki ASH? Doudrop and Nikki make sense. They are friends. They're both from the same region of the world. They look good together. Unfortunately, they lose every freaking match. So you can't take them seriously as competitors.
Right.
I recommend you try another sport, like knitting.
But you have the two or two of the most popular female wrestlers going today. Alexa Bliss is your most popular merchandise mover. Asuka is pretty popular. Like, she gets a great ovation when she shows it. She's the anti-Lacey Evans. Right. And even they couldn't do anything with these two. Like, you could hear a pin drop. Like, Asuka kept trying to fire up the crowd, and no one was having it because no one cared. You got two people who never win. There's no heat. You're just like, cool, Asuka and Alexa Bliss are beating up two jobbers. Cool.
Right. You could just flip a coin as to, it's like, oh, who's going to pin who? It's like, roll 1d4. Okay. One. Okay. First option is Alexa pins Nikki. Okay. That's what we go with.
Yep.
Right. It was if you roll a 1, Alexa pins Nikki. If you roll a 2, Alexa pins Doudrop. If you roll a 3, Asuka pins Nikki. If you roll a 4, Asuka pins Doudrop. There you go. Like, that was the only outcomes. It's like, who pinned who? Oh, it's a 2. Okay, yep, that's what's happening.
Yeah, it was just point, and you didn't even have the thing about Doudrop is you have the ability to make her a spectacle because she is, the shape she is, right? Yeah, I caught that again as well. So I'm like, why? Like, well, she's not at her best. I'm like,
oh, you can't see what that says. I mean,
yeah.
Right? Like, why is that?
Yeah, why is that? Why? Well, she's like, oh, she left some of the killer instinct on the therapist chair, like couch and what? Maybe.
But I don't like them together.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. Alexa Bliss, because she says she has no friends, you should actually have a thing where she teams with someone. When everyone else has a tag team partner, she just tags with whoever's left. And it could literally be anyone. It's like, because she says she has no friends, have her tag with anyone then. Have her tag with, like, do the thing you did with Braun Strowman and have her team with a kid. Like, it doesn't matter at that point. But, like, yeah, like, if they're, like, the tag teams, the titles, I think it's dead. Like, I think tag team wrestling for females, it's dead. I think, you just have Alexa Bliss and Asuka there, and they're like, well, we're not paying these ladies to not do anything, so we'll just have them wrestle these two. But it's just the crowd. It doesn't give the crowd entertainment because everyone's just like, okay, sure. I mean, I want to see Alexa Bliss and Asuka, but not against these two.
Right.
I'd rather see Alexa Bliss wrestle Asuka.
I don't know. It was like super pointless. And yeah, you're right. No one cared. They're just like, okay, yeah, they're wrestling each other. It's like, sure.
When you have those two not able to get a reaction, you're in trouble.
Right. All right. Well, that was it for that. I'll see if I can share my screen. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened to that?
Like,
now Doudrop just loses.
Like, don't these people have like a spreadsheet or something that they work? Like, I mean, I have a lot of characters. Like, I've created a lot of characters, and I'm writing my stories, and Steve writes his stories. And like, I have so many characters that like I have to have things like, who's this character? I was literally thinking today about the strong arm audios. Well, maybe I got to write those as short stories and publish them.
That'd be go. That'd be
And I'm
cool.
like, okay, let me do that. And then I'm like, I don't even remember half the characters' names. It's like I finally remember them, but it's like it took me a minute. It's like, well, that's why you have notes.
Yep.
Right? Like,
well, Vince McMahon is calling the shots. The man's 76 years old. He's too busy cheating on his wife. He doesn't really keep track of his own storylines or the storylines that happen.
Check this out. This was Roddy Piper's comic.
Awesome,
it's really short. It's a small. Hold on, let me see if I can find a better quality picture. Oh, it's Jusko. Joe Jusko did the art. That's awesome, eh? Like,
yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, Monster Killer. Like, okay.
Roddy Piper was one of those guys who people didn't really understand. He never needed a belt. And I don't think in WWE he ever had a belt. I don't think he ever won a belt. He never needed one.
This is from Rock and Wrestling, man.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah. This toy sold out so quickly because they did He-Man, but like they did wrestlers as He-Man. So see, this is Battle Armor. This is actually Battle Armor Skeletor with He-Man's body or whatever. It's like Skeletor's thing. That's like awesome. That was kind of neat. Yeah. What the hell? Oh my God! WWE Forever #1. When did that come out? It's like a wrestling comic, but yeah. Oh yeah, there's the figure. It's actually not. It's not. I don't think it's that great of a figure. But remember the Ultimate Warrior comic?
Oh yeah.
There it is. Yes, Warrior. I should read that. What is it called? Is it just called Warrior?
I believe so.
Is this a better angle?
Yeah, it's Warrior.
Yeah, maybe this is because like you should be able to get that on Read All Comics. Like, look at this, man. This is crazy. This looks like a 90s comic. The Ultimate Warrior.
My gosh.
Oh, this is a cool drawing. That's actually
Ultimate
awesome.
Challenge.
That's an awesome poster.
Yeah.
That's got to be fan made.
Has to be. I never saw anything that cool around that.
Why is like Craven showing up on Ultimate? Oh, I guess he's a warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior Archives. I guess so, yeah. Roddy.
Yeah, so let's look at let's go on it. Let's sort it by time. And then where is it? You can see it's so choppy on here. I don't know why it sucks so bad. Let's do
still recovering from.
No, it sucked last time when I tried to share my screen too. I don't know why it sucks on here, but my laptop's okay. Yeah, that's where I got that picture. This is awesome. I mean, it's so hilarious.
She's just angry.
It's super funny. But this is that cool outfit.
Yeah, versus green and gold.
I like that a lot. That was awesome. Oh yeah, Logan Paul or whatever is coming back.
Yeah, they keep
the boys have boys coming up.
Homelander.
Yeah. So the next I'm gonna remove that. Make this back to full screen so I can see what's going on. So yeah, I mean, basically, like, I just have no idea what's going on with half this stuff anymore.
Well, because they're not building like they had Becky Lynch. They had Alexa Bliss last week saying I should go for the belt, and even mentioned that last week she said that, and then she's in some. Yeah, they should do that. Though I do like her graphic, but yeah,
I like her. I like the graphic as well.
But
they need to update this stuff, and they need to have better. They need to have better wallpapers. They need to start doing all this stuff. Like fans, fans can make only so much. It's like it'd be good to have this year. This would be super funny as your wallpaper. That'd be the best. They need to just do better with some of their promotions and stuff. And the shirts, oh god, the shirts are brutal. Hold on, let me go back to share screen for a second because
okay. But I was going to just finish off saying Becky, Alexa Bliss said I should go for the belt. They even mentioned it, and the commentators mentioned she said that, and then this week she's in some random tag team that means nothing.
Right.
It's just guys. Do you even read what you write from week to week?
So let me go to. I won't sign in. Hold on. Let me sign out of Canada. Continue shopping. Seriously. God, this thing is so garbage. Yeah, it doesn't like share screen for some reason. Share. So it'll be Canadian because it'll show up in Canadian whenever it actually shares. There we go. Okay. So oh god, it's so brutally slow. My internet's the best internet there's. I don't know. This computer just doesn't like it. I have to get a new computer. All right. So if you look at the actual stuff they have, it's garbage. Whenever this eventually loads.
Whenever it appears.
And I'll give you Alexa Bliss and stuff, and it's everything that they have is outdated or bad, and you're why is this? Oh god, why is this take so long? Yeah, it's not good. I can't do it on. You know what? I can't do it on this computer. I have to do it on my laptop. Yeah, it's just not going to load. I'll leave it for a second, see if it eventually gets there. But yeah, I was looking for shirts. Sorry, I'm closing it.
You want me to try sharing?
No, it's fine. It's it's just the internet. It doesn't like it. It doesn't like it. The internet's brutal. But yeah. We're at the hour mark, so we're going to end it off anyways. But yeah, basically, for Becky Lynch, there's no good merchandise. I had to go to Redbubble, which is where just people make their own shirts. And that's where I got my Big Time Bex shirt. And that's what I'm going to be wearing to freaking Raw because they don't have anything official that looks good. They have one that says The Man, but I don't think she doesn't even use that anymore.
Nope.
And it's going to look weird if I'm using it.
Super old.
Yeah, that's
I'm willing to wager you that whatever we buy at that show will be old stuff. Like NWO or something like that. It's not going to be modern stuff because they're not, to your point, they're not really doing a lot. That's oh, that's great, ACC.
We're about to end off in a minute or two anyway. But to round, we were Lacey Evans turned heel. They did her dirty. They should have turned her heel from the beginning. Now it just looks pathetic. But I like Lacey Evans now because everyone booed her and didn't like her. So now I like her. That's one of my wrestling things. If everyone doesn't like someone, I automatically like them.
Yeah.
And this Alexa Bliss dewdrop garbage angle was just stupid. But Carmella match was awesome. Carmella Bianca was awesome, and Becky Lynch is the best. We'll show this one more time just to remind you how awesome that was. Literally, when they came back and she's standing on the table, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. Who knows how long she was standing on that table? That was a 3-minute break. She's been standing on that table like what, like she should have stood on the table during the entire match. Or get one of those lifeguard pool chairs where it's like really high and she climbs and sits on that and like surveys the land.
I would have her take the chair and sit at different angles during the match. At one point, getting into the ring and sitting there. Not hitting anyone, just sitting in the ring.
Or you know what I always liked, where someone would be wearing a shirt or something, and then they take off the shirt and invert it, and it was like a referee shirt, and then and then back and then 1, 2, 3, like you're not a ref. Like what is this? Like I like shenanigans like that where it's like really outrageous. You're like, you can't just count. Or where someone counts, slow and it's not really slow. Yeah. Or remember they'd be like Jesse the Body would just, he'd go like 1, 2, and he wouldn't do it because he wants the guy to kick out. And it's like, oh. Yeah. And then you hear like Gorilla Monsoon's like, that's the slowest count. And then it's like, my God, it's like, you're going to kick out like 7 times because I could have counted to 25. 1, 2.
Well, the best I ever saw, the one that really got me was the Shane McMahon one, where he went in when he was in the referee shirt, and he counted 1, 2, and then he gave Stone Cold both fingers, and then he just got out of the ring. I'm like, so there's no 3, like.
Yeah, we're gonna take no. I can't. Yeah, it's gonna be. It'll be interesting because sometimes you can't tell.
Yeah.
When I was out, I did go to another. I don't know if it was Raw or what it was. I went to one a long time back. Did we go to a Raw, Steve, or what did we?
Yeah, we went
to Raw before, right?
Yeah.
And it was a little hard to tell when you were on a commercial break.
Yeah.
Because it's more obvious with the Becky thing where it's like nothing's happening and you're like, okay, what's going on? But during the matches, you don't know when the break happens, right? So that's one thing.
You won't know.
But I'm going to try to pay attention, and we're going to try to reason it out. Like, and then I'm going to when we come back, I'm gonna PVR it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rewatch it again, and then I'm gonna try to see where we are. But also, I'll try to think, oh, what was happening at this moment? You know what I mean? And then, and then I don't know. Do they do any kind of dark matches or anything? I can't remember.
They used to.
Yeah, they used to.
I don't know if they do anymore. And also remember, the ending that the audience saw on television was not necessarily the ending that the live audience saw.
Oh, because shit happened after, even on this one where I think Becky was saying some more stuff or what.
But there was stuff like, I remember you telling me this was just when the corporate or the Ministry of Darkness was starting up. There was something where Rock and Stone Cold were beating up Triple H or like whoever was in the corporation, and Undertaker came out and helped them. And that was not on television. I remember that.
Not on television, right. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. So I don't know what's going on. We've got the VIP. We're gonna go there. Like I'm gonna like. Well, I'll be working from home or whatever. We can leave at like, I don't know when you want to leave. Like
I got the day off that day, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we leave like, even like, I don't know, like 2:00 or something or whatever, and just be there like hyper early, like, and then we could just park at the Air Canada Center or whatever it's called now. I don't know what it's called now.
Scotiabank Arena.
Scotiabank Theater? No.
Arena,
Scotiabank Arena. Yeah, we'll just go there and just park at the arena. I don't care what it costs. It's like I don't want to be fumbling around at midnight finding my car. Like I'd rather just, if it's $50, I'd rather just pay $50 and know my car is going to be there.
Yeah.
Right. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can, and then we'll be there early. And then I don't know if you can go in early or how it works. Like, maybe I'll call them and ask them.
Yeah.
And then just be like, yeah, let's see what goes on. I don't know how early they'll let us in. So
yeah, maybe find out from them if they would give us any idea.
yeah, because I'd like to be there and just be for sure ready. And then once we're there, we're there. So it'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, I'll take video and we'll take photos like crazy, and we'll go from there. But yeah, we will, if you want to, even like, next year or whatever, if we can see what's going on, see what the finances are like, and if there's something like not too far away, and do the VIP experience, because that'd be awesome. I really want to do it this time.
Yeah, I think we'll have to go into a surrounding area to do that.
London does it. London will do it. I saw it, and it's the same. It's the same price as what we paid.
Yeah.
So it's the same anyways. It's just it's the same. So, and I'll show everybody what we get too, because we're going to get a lot of.
Yeah.
We get like a chair and autograph. We get a lot of stuff, and I hope we get it there, because some people get it mailed to them. Like I'll get it mailed to me, and then I'll give it you yours. But I've also seen where they'll get a package right there at their, like they'll get it at their seat.
Right.
And then if you do get it at your seat, you can see what autographs you get beforehand. And people will trade. Like I'll trade anything for Becky Lynch. I don't care who it is. Like I'll trade anybody for Becky Lynch. So it's like, let's see who we get. You know what I mean? Now I don't know. Like this one guy said that him and his wife went and they both got the same person, and his wife didn't care, so he traded one for someone else. So he ended up getting kind of two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you and I, because I bought the tickets for both of us. I don't know if we're going to get the same person.
Right.
Right. So we can, you can say like, you can tell me who's your number one priority, and then, you know what I mean? And then we can kind of figure it out that way. Because like, for me, it's Becky Lynch, and then after that, I don't care.
Right.
Right. Like really, so it's like, if you have someone like, who would be your main priority? Like Alexa or something, you'll get someone
probably.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, if you get Alexa, or if you get Becky, I got Alexa, we can trade, right? Like,
right.
You can trade with other people. Like the guy said, he goes, they're super cool. Like people just be like, oh, I got this person. Anyone want to trade? And you could like, literally the guy was like trading amongst strangers. Like, I've got like Roman Reigns. Who wants it? Oh shit. Yeah. Like I'll be like, I've got Roman Reigns. Does anyone have Becky Lynch? I'll trade you. Okay. Like, so I'm not shy to trade. It's like, I'll do what I got to do or whatever. Right. So that's the thing. So it's kind of neat that way, but I would love to do the VIP experience with the superstar experience, and like, and talk to the people.
Hopefully next year.
Hopefully next year. Yeah. I'm good to do it, man. Like I never do anything. I'm not doing Fan Expo this year. That's usually $500, $600, $700 anyways.
Yeah.
So I may as well do a wrestling thing, and then I get a show, and then you and I get to do it. We get to hang out for a longer time. We get to go to a cool event. We get to watch the event. We get cool photos. We get, we can take videos. We get extra perks. We come back. We talk about it on the channel. Like it's a whole bunch of stuff. It ends up being a lot more than me being like, oh, here's a picture of me with whoever that, I don't even really care about that much anyways, right? So, okay, well, that's it. So tomorrow night, reminder, I'm going to be on the Action Elite. That is Owen's channel, and that's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. The link to the Action Elite is in the description below, and we're going to be talking about Eraser. We're going to be talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie Eraser. James Caan is the villain in it. James Caan just recently passed away. James Caan's the damn best. So we're going to talk. Talk about him. We'll probably talk a little bit about Rollerball, which is my favorite, and Misery, of course. I'm sure that'll come in. But and then the guys are going to talk about all these random action movies that I've never seen before. I'm sure. I'll be like, yeah, I like Rollerball. It's like that's the nerdy one to like.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night, Sean and I are going to talk about the 90s comic books. So that's going to be really fun. And then actually in a couple of Mondays, I'm going to be on Clobberin Time's channel talking about Batman number 321. Random, super random issue, but it's Joker's birthday, and he celebrates by capturing all of Batman's friends, and he's going to kill them all in front of an audience. So that's interesting. So that'll be not next Monday, but the Monday after. So, big long ass, a lot of stuff to go through. But all right, guys, take it easy.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.